This is confusing. I don't know why. I don't know why every time I open up my OBS, it's having a problem with that. Gotta put on the clown makeup now. Hello, everybody. Lucy, thank you for the shirt of the day. This is my Baby Metal shirt. You might have seen it before. Shirt of the day is Baby Metal. I haven't changed any settings, and seemingly every time my mic starts muted. Maybe it's a choice. Maybe it's a aesthetic choice. I think it is. Welcome in, everybody. We were listening to Simulatu to get this stream started. I hope you're enjoying it. Agrix, thank you so much for the gift sub. And thank you all for being here. We are going to be playing the new game by Justin Roiland and Squanch Games today. Yeah, let's get this rocking. Let me get this loaded up on here. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Oh no, Momo, your chip got rotten. It's all moldy. Hope you enjoy your green chip era. Johnny, thank you so much for the gift subs. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Johnny. How was the forest last night? How was the rest of the forest? That was pretty great. I really want to play the forest. I had to bail. I was kind of worried about spoiling it too much because I heard it's good to not really know what you're getting into. Let's see here. Get this loaded. I did try out the game earlier, just making sure that it works. So that's yeah, the calcium cannons tag I think is staying at least until I can represent them. I need to get some tits is what I'm saying. Bonafide, thank you so much for passing your gift sub. Let's see, let's get this game rocking. Come on now. I swear I tried this before and it was working. Okay, we're good. Okay, high on life. I was trying desperately to let the I was trying to use that anime filter thing. It didn't work. It just made it look like there was two small people in like a kind of precarious spot. Okay, let's we're gonna just toss this over here. Toss this over to the game real quick. We're gonna get to it because this is what you all came here for. Momo, thank you so much for the gift sub. To Elephant. All right, everybody. I think this is going to be a real meta treat here today. Let's see. I'm just going to get the now playing off. No game audio? Dude, this keeps doing this. It's really wild. I'm really disappointed. Let's see. Okay. How about that? No?
I love you all. You're beautiful. And never forget that everyone is a princess.
Thank you, Marit. Thank you so much for the beautiful jump scare from Princess Paris. Okay, I got the sound on, right? This is the sound? Okay. All right, here we go. Buck Thunder. Take normal mode. It's good for me.
Check,
Momo,
check.
thank you for the other gift sub. Thank you so much.
Buck, oh, it's me, Phil, your divorce attorney. Welcome to Buck Thunder.
All right,
2,
here we go.
Slaughter. Another Buck Thunder game. Your ex-wife is back and more evil than ever. She's sending a bunch of her new blood-sucking boyfriends out. So go shoot them. Just kill them all, Buck.
All right, this is gonna be funny. I'm excited.
Buck, it's me, Phil, your divorce lawyer again. You remember how to move and jump and everything, right? There's shit on the screen that tells you how to do all that stuff. I mean, come on, Buck. This is the second game. You know how to do all this shit. All right, Buck, you're gonna have to use the brand new double jump to get over there. Oh,
What?
shit, I'm sorry, Buck. I forgot there's no double jump, just crouch. We gotta try crouching, Buck. Fucking scheduling and scoping bullshit.
Oh, subtitles. Sorry. Absolutely. Oops. Okay, there we go. Confirm. Oops. Pro gaming.
Over a double jump. Who is this? Who are these people above us? All right, that's a good crouch, Buck. That's a good crouch. Good boy. All right. Fucking scoping and scheduling bullshit. Fucking double jump.
I haven't played this before. I'm stoked.
Who the fuck?
All right. Welcome in, everybody. It's time to blast. Oh, jeez.
Shoot, Buck.
Oh God.
That's what I'm talking about, Buck. Kill those fuckers. You're the man. I love you, Buck. You're so fucking cool. Oh, I'm so excited and lit up to be your divorce attorney. You have no idea. You're my favorite client. All right, Buck, just open that door. It's so fucking easy. Just press. Oh my God, Buck, you did it. You opened the door. You're a fucking genius. You are my favorite client. It's me, by the way, your divorce attorney. Don't forget, I'm Bill, your divorce attorney. Let's go. Let's get moving. Let's defeat your ex-wife.
All right, I'm blasting. Here we go.
Buck, Phil here, your divorce attorney. Let me fill you in on what's going on. An alien spaceship landed in your ex-wife's backyard. She fell in love with the leader, and it turns out they're all a hive mind, so she's fucking all of them. What are the odds? I know that's probably what you're thinking, but just get out there and kill them, Buck. That's all you can do. Over and out.
Oh man, I'm gonna. This is pretty good. I don't have. This is tough because like, I'm not gonna have much to say here. I'm just gonna let y'all enjoy the game. Small God, thank you for the sub.
Hey, open up! You gonna hide in there all day? Mom and Dad just left.
Oh no.
Are you gonna answer me or what? I'm coming in. You better not be doing anything weird in there. Why didn't you say goodbye to Mom and Dad before they left for their trip?
Nice.
You know they were pissed, right? Whatever. We got the place to ourselves now. Oh my God, don't give me that look, narc. What, are you mad that I'm throwing this party tonight? It's fine. Mom and Dad are gone for a whole fucking week. We can do whatever we want. Eat shit. Here, come on, try some. You know it's good for your depression, right?
Oh shit. Okay.
We're totally gonna rage.
Oh, I gotta
tonight.
I gotta
cannot
choose my
wait.
appearance.
Whoa, it's kicking in. Oh, what is wrong with your face? As I was saying, I gotta text Jen and make sure she brings the good shit.
I guess I should be white boy of the month. Okay.
Finally,
It's me.
There you are. I felt like I was losing my mind. So,
I feel like any of the other, if I chose anything else, it'd be
Fine,
pretty.
more for me, then.
I could get
All
canceled.
right, I'm gonna go get ready for the party.
Appreciate
This stuff's
that.
gonna last me all week. It is powerful.
All right, here we go. We're okay, kids. You know, use responsibly. Test your drugs, kids. Bring Narcan. Okay, here we go. We're doing the drug game. All right. Okay. Okay, don't use alone. Thank you, Johnny.
Mom
All
told
right.
me I was in charge. She did it in secret so it wouldn't hurt your feelings, and Dad said that he flat out doesn't love you. It was actually pretty messed up. By the way,
Damn,
Mom
that's
left
crazy.
you a note on the fridge. Go read it. Then come meet me outside. I need your help grabbing party shit from the store.
Waffle, thank you for the sub. Yeah, there's something wrong with her mouth, too. She's kind of scary looking. Okay, we gotta go to the party store. Let's see. Okay. What do I got here? Hello, sweetheart. It would have been nice if you'd come downstairs to say goodbye to your father and I before we left. I hope you know we love you very much, but we can't keep supporting you if you're just gonna sit around playing video games all day. You should follow Lizzie's example. She already got accepted into 3 great schools. I really hope you get your act together. Why don't you figure out a plan before we get back? Love, Mom. Okay. That hurts, Mom, but alright. Okay.
Come on, I don't want to carry it all myself. So I guess.
Oh jeez. Oh my god.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, that's
Get
crazy.
down and stay quiet.
Oh, that's fucked up. What the fuck is that?
I knew aliens were real.
Oh, these are some real. Uh-oh.
Shan awalaha, shitao het gawang, halawa, wan
Can you
wa.
understand what they're saying?
No, definitely not,
Oh
dude.
shit! Look, it's Mr. Pilfrey. He's got that what's it called? Dementia.
What's going on out here? Martha, is that you? Oh my
Oh
god!
my god! What did they just do to Mr. Pilfrey?
Hola, miamato, it's a
What the fuck is going on?
Machiza, wanaho, Lumande tanda, ulaba
He's sucking on he's sucking on that old man. Look at him. Pulling it. Oh shit. Damn, that was brutal.
Isa, wotikawa, one.
Damn, dude.
Please be careful. Oh, did that thing just spit all over
Finally!
you?
Oh my god, finally I'm free, thank god! What a nightmare! Listen, can you pull the inhibitor chip out of me? It's the metal thing stuck in me, just pull it out!
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Oh, that feels so much better, thank you. Yeah, sorry about the spit. I needed to get you infected with the translator microbes. That's sort of how it works. I guess you guys don't have those here yet. Listen, my name's Kenny. I'm a Gatlian. We gotta move.
What is it? Is it talking to you? Maybe we should go back to the
Ignore
house.
her. It's very important that you listen to everything I say. Okay, it is your lucky day right now. We can survive this together if you just listen to me. These G3 guys are gonna turn your whole species into drugs. Can you handle a gun? Because, you know, I'm kind of a gun, and if you don't use me to kill those G3 grunts, you know, they're gonna fucking kill us. Fuck yeah, there we go. All right, first kill. I am so glad you picked me up. Let's keep going. Not bad, alien. Not bad at all. Let's head to that base.
Alright, let's go.
Well, here you go. It's a G3 warp base. Okay, let's just clean house and warp out of here.
Alright.
Nice. You know, you had to kill them, right? It was either them or you, and me as well, and I would prefer to live. You know, and I have a voice here. I have a choice in this. Oh, shit, it's a
fuck.
mark. They're tougher.
Oh jeez. Okay, I'm gonna turn these guys to goo. Let's go. Get gooed on. Let's go. So is it his butthole?
Now grab the warp drive. We'll use this to warp the hell off this doomed planet.
Is it his
Sorry, no
butthole
offense.
that's?
I don't mean to upset you, but yes, your planet
Is he
doomed right
shooting up poos?
now. Okay, listen, don't worry
Is that what the
about
bullets
beep
are?
thing.
Okay,
The
let's
beep thing's
go.
fine. It's gonna blow up soon. We just need to plug this thing into power. Do you have something back at your house? You know, do you live in one of these huts around here? Take us there, because we gotta move. We gotta move.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's get out of here.
This is my chance. Listen, bring me up close to your face so I can aim better. I'm done waiting.
You cannot take on the alien all by yourself.
Of course I can. This is all fits. Now just look down the sights.
Who's that?
You're doing great, by the way.
That's crazy. You're talking crazy.
The only
What's this
thing
guy
that's
saying?
Crazy here is me spitting in the face of things.
That guy wants to take on the aliens. I want to hear this.
Save the planet. It has to be me. I am the ultimate hero.
Jesus, Eric. I will not
Do
stand
you need some more encouragement? You're, that's my little G3 killer. Oh, look at you, G3 killers. Okay, enough of this. Unimpressed. Your breath stinks.
I was just enjoying the dialogue that you wrote, Justin. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, fuck.
That's your
Alright, there we go.
The one that the weird alien you were with ran off to? We're almost there.
Alright, this is us. Gotta get in the house. Here we go.
Oh, thank God you're still alive. I just killed an alien. Look, I got blood in my mouth. I think we're all gonna die.
You got anything in here that emits, I don't know, microwaves? I know it's a lot to ask.
What, like a fucking microwave? Oh, whoa. I can understand science.
Translator microbes, they're contagious, but can please just move past all this shit.
So,
Oh, thank God, it worked. Okay, it's just gonna need a second to boot up.
Oh my God. That's the
My
scary
name
alien
is
we saw
Scott
kill Mr.
Banderas,
Pilfrey.
leader of the G3 cartel. Don't resist. Any attempts to fight us would be futile.
Crazy.
You are now officially the property of the G3 cartel.
All right, it's go time. Let's get out of here.
wait, get out of here? Where are we going?
To find somebody who can help.
All right, here we go. Zoom, zoom. Let's get
Except
out
that
of.
It's a space city. It's a huge space city, and you're gonna be out of your element. And you better just follow my lead.
What just happened?
Looks like we made it. Welcome to Blim City.
Did you just warp our entire house to another planet?
Yeah, keep up. We'll be safe here. Now take me outside.
Whoa, you're just gonna leave me here in what, space? Are we in space?
I like his
Yeah,
face.
sorry, I know you're a bit shaken up, but you'll be fine. It's better than getting enslaved by the G3. Trust me.
I guess that's true. How the hell are we gonna get back to Earth?
This is such
we
a
can't.
good.
That was a one-way trip. We don't
This
have
is
the coordinates
such a
to your
good
planet.
premise.
Then what about
A
our
gun that talks to you.
parents
Fuck
and
yeah, this is
everyone? You're
great.
going
Yeah, let's
out
go. We're
there
going to space.
Into space?
You gotta play the game. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Welcome to fucking space.
Woo! This game is fire, Nikolai. Thank you
So
for
this is
joining
Blim
us.
City. Not bad, huh? I don't know how we're gonna find Gene though. Let's just ask around. There's all kinds of aliens out here. Let's just ask. He is famous.
Flashlight gun. Oh god, yeah, he does. Oh god, he does kind of look like a flashlight. Oh no, I don't want to see it. Chad, do not send me the Rule 34 of this game, please.
Hey,
Please.
we're looking
Although
for-
I know there's
fuck
other
it, let's
guns you
move
can
on.
get,
Let's just
so
go.
we can do a smash or pass.
Hey,
later.
We're looking for Gene Ceruthian. I'm not sure. Maybe you could help.
Oh, I wish I knew where he was. He owes me like 300 pesos.
Huh? That doesn't sound like Gene Ceruthian to me.
Well, we got pesos in this game. What's up?
Okay, this isn't going so well, but let's keep asking around.
Go
We'll
for it.
find
You guys
something.
can
I
do it.
swear.
I hope so, Passion. I really hope so. Hey, what's up, guy? Can I talk to you? Okay. I can't manage to get this cursor off the screen, by the way. It
Where
keeps
the hell
jumping
is
up.
he?
I don't know why.
Blimp City's always been his headquarters. You
My
know?
bad.
We can't give up.
Posture check. Thank you for the posture check. All right. What's going? What's up? Is this Sploog? Is this the place? Got a Sploog? Should I kill people? What should I do? Who can alien come the farthest? I'm sure there's like a sniper rifle
Okay,
to alien
God,
come.
Someone has to know where Gene is.
Some kind of oh, what are these guys all about? Those are cops, maybe? This guy's really just shooting his glue, isn't he? Yeah, I'm playing on PC. It's on Xbox too, but I don't have that hooked up on my. Come on, where's the go? Who's? Someone help me, okay? Where's Gene? I gotta find Gene. Come on. Hey. Oh. Okay. 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 Come on. Okay. Can we just... Okay. I can't send you up over the thing, huh? How about you? Hi. That's scary. Okay. Keep bumping people. That guy's got a good head. Okay, where's... Come on. We can play Plop Ploppers? Am I missing something? How come no one's talking to me? I feel like the game wants me to just like start shooting somebody. I feel like it expects me to do that. How do I progress, game? I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to start blasting. It won't let me talk to anyone. What's going on? Oh, here. Oh, here's the guy.
Hello?
Oh, nice. Oh, there we go.
Get away. Don't take my shit.
Oh my god. It can't be.
What do you want?
You're not the famous bounty hunter Gene Zaruthian, are you?
Who's asking?
Hi, Rachel. Welcome
you're really
in.
Gene.
Yeah, I'm really Gene. That's me, like on the ads. Disappointed?
We did it. We
how
found
I
the guy.
Okay, well, whoopsies. We were gonna ask for your help fighting the G3 cartel, but...
Kid, do I look like I can help anyone? I just got evicted. I don't even have a goddamn home.
Oh no, poor guy.
Can you point us in the direction of, you know, a bounty hunter friend that's still working, you know, still has their legs?
Ho, 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 ho.
Oh
Look at
shit,
that
I didn't realize
house.
he's got no legs.
Goddamn. Where'd that come from? That's a great fucking house. You see that house?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, that's this hairy alien's house, the one holding me.
Ah, damn. Can't stop looking at that beautiful house.
That's me.
Yeah, okay. The gears are turning. Maybe I can help you.
You can? But you just said...
Yeah. I said I'd help you fight the... Who'd you say? The G3 cartel?
No, Momo, you're absolutely correct.
Come on, that's
It's
whatever.
the American
Yeah,
instinct
sure.
to just start
We'll kill 'em
blasting.
all.
It's not right.
I've got a fully operational bounty suit in my cart over there.
Really? Well, that's convenient.
Yeah, I can turn that hairy kid of yours into a true blue bounty hunter. But if they die, I want the house. That's the trade.
Are you sure? I don't think they've even fired a gun before today. And wait, you want the house in return?
Yeah, this is a great deal for you. I mean, you get all my old bounty hunter shit, and I might get a house.
I don't know.
Enough talking. Just be a gun for a second. You, hairy kid, put on the suit. See how you feel. Then make a decision, yeah? I can always just pawn this shit off.
Okay, go ahead. Try it on. What choice do we have?
I gotta put on this stinky suit. Oh, jeez. All right, cool. I got the suit on.
Wow, you look great, kid. Natural. Definitely not gonna die on your first bounty.
All right, I guess we'll give it a shot, but I don't know about this.
Ah, yeah, shit. It's still in trial mode. I pawned off the activation license. The ticket should be in one of your pockets. Some loose change, too. Should be enough. Take that down to Mr. Keep's pawn shop and he'll get you all set up. The suit will help you get there.
Hey there, Gene Zaruthian. It's me, Pseudo, your helpful bounty hunting assistant. Before I enable mobility, I just need to make sure your info scanner is online. Can you go ahead and give the area a quick scan for me? Okay, perfect. Great job. I've identified your current objective. Head on down to Mr. Keep's pawn shop. Perfectamundo, everything is in working order. Mobility unlocked. You are free to move, Gene.
All right.
I love that it calls me
Gene. While
Gene.
you're gone.
Okay, let's just...
Ooh, whoops, sorry about all those pop-ups. I forgot to warn you about that. You can close them with the interact button, but they are gonna keep coming back non-stop. That's just gonna keep happening until you activate the license. Sorry, you better hurry up.
Doctors hate him. He doesn't know why, and he just wants them to stop trying to kill him every day. Oh my god, I love this. This is so funny. It's really good. Oh god. Okay, okay.
You able to see okay? Sorry, I didn't expect Gene to be like that.
Horse penis 2.0. Your suit's infected. Uh-oh.
I think Mr. Keep is just ahead. You got this.
What's up, freak?
Jorb, greet the customer properly.
Welcome to Mr. Keep's, dipshit. We're your friendly neighborhood pawn shop. Buy something or don't, nobody even cares.
Jorb!
Oh, so old Zaruthian doesn't feel like pawning his license key anymore. What? Did he win the sweepstakes? Ha! Okay, so you want this license key. But it's really nice. I kind of want it for myself.
Why did your Schlangus by why didn't your Schlangus by 10 inches today with Schlanga?
Okay, fuck yeah! Activation license accepted.
All right, that was good.
Suit is in perfect
I really,
order.
really,
Time
really
for an
like
important
that.
question. Would you like to keep me on as your permanent in-suit advisor?
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
the best choice you could have made. All right, bye-bye now. I'll be back. Punch.
Whoa, not bad. It's got your vital readings, armor levels, even my biometrics. Gene really came through, didn't he? I told you he'd be great.
Perfect. Just what this galaxy needs. Another good-for-nothing bounty hunter. Out of my store!
Oh my god. Rude guy. What's that? I can't afford it.
You know, Jorb, I don't think you're... Have a look around. We got some good stuff for sale. But not everything. Some
You can get some onesies? Backpack? What else do we want? A kidney? Drum, thank you for the sip, girl. Oh, you know what? I need to actually get my sip. It's in the other room. I'm gonna pause for a second, everyone, and just hold tight while I go get some sips. But while we're on a break here, why don't we just enjoy a brief performance by the house band. This is Crazy Ken and the Crazy Ken Band with Hot and Sour Soup. Wow, what a great performance, Ken. Thank you so much for that. We love the consistency of your performances so much. Unfortunately, Ken is still trapped inside of his plastic soul prison. He's only allowed out for a few minutes at a time to perform on the stream here for us. So everyone, thank you. Thanks, Ken. Say thanks to Ken. He's been in this soul prison for a few months now. The demon Granzibus trapped him in there, and he said that he'll only let him out if we beat the train game on the hardest difficulty. He also said that if we reach sub goal, we can get Ken out of there. So we gotta save Ken, everybody. Thanks, Ken, for your performance. You did a really good song just now. That was really nice to listen to that. Thank you so much, Ken, for this beautiful performance that you always give us great energy, great commitment to your craft, and we love you, Ken. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Burville Mantequilla, thank you so much for rating and welcome in. Big thanks to Mushy for the resub, Waffle Boffle for the resub, Small Goth for the resub, Lucy for the satanic cheer, Momo, thank you so much for the 2 gift subs, And Bonafide, thank you for passing that along. All right, we are back at it. I put on a sweatshirt. Everyone who's wondering about my changing a shirt, it's cold. So I put on a sweatshirt. So it's a new sweatshirt. All right, but we're gonna pause the music. I also saw Album of the Day, and I'm gonna do that, but I want to get back to the game because I popped out for a sec there. And I'll give you a great jazz recommendation in a little bit. We were just listening to Mulatu Astake, which is great jazz music as well, but I can give a few recommendations after that. Protoloon, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome in. All right, we're doing this. We got our little fleshlight guy that is our new friend. We got some missions to do, I guess. We're gonna figure out what we're doing.
You'll find it. You'll figure it out.
All right, we gotta meet Gene at my house.
Hey, you can run, you know. I don't know if you do that. Try hitting the button on your screen. I can't say the name of the button because I have no fucking clue what kind of controller or keyboard you're using.
Oh, game, you're so meta. Oh, game. Wink, wink. A little nudge, nudge, and a wink, wink all the time from this game, isn't it? Where's our guy? What happened to the guy? Oh, he's gone?
Pretty sure he's at your house.
At our house. Oh, great. Uh-oh.
Huh, there's little guys coming out of your house. That okay?
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh god, they smeared shit all over the place.
Hey, nice house you got here. Real ritzy.
Oh,
Way better
God.
than my bench.
Oh wow,
Oh,
you really
jeez.
made yourself at home, huh?
Oh, there you are. Who's this weirdo, and why is he setting up a fucking huge alien computer in our living room?
Okay, first of all, that alien computer is a very expensive and surprisingly operational Bounty 5000. So, you're welcome.
A what 5,000?
Your kid here thinks they're gonna be a big bad bounty hunter. I set them up with some fancy equipment, so they're letting me have the house when they die.
Kid? They're not my kid. I'm their sister. How old do you think I am?
Listen, Hairball, I don't know what kind of alien you are or how fast you age. I'm just making my best guesses here.
You were only gone 5 minutes, and you already told some random alien he could move in with us. That's what you did.
Look, I know it's a lot all at once, but we need him to save your species. So
Yeah.
do you think you could put up with him for a bit?
Yeah, we gotta save the
It's
species.
gonna help, sure. I'm sorry.
Everyone have a
Everything
little
I've ever
treat.
known just got
You
flipped
guys have a
upside
little
down,
treat?
So I don't know what's weird or not anymore.
Chad, do you have a treat?
I don't like getting up to take shit, so I'm just gonna shit right here in the couch later. I don't have to shit right now.
No.
But just a heads up.
Like
No.
So what? We just jump into the deep end and start hunting down G3 officers, or what?
I'm not sure you're ready just yet. I mean, they don't let you fuck the Glumpers at Glumpies without a level 4 fuck pass, do they?
What? I don't know.
Well, they don't. Maybe I should send you out on a little test run first, eh?
Okay, sure.
I've got just the thing. A small-time local gangster by the name of Nine Torg. She took my favorite knife. She's got an operation out in the slums.
Pebblbrained, thank you for the
and get my knife
moldy
back.
chip.
Then we'll talk. Maybe take you out to Glumpies to celebrate.
All right, so we just head out to the slums?
No, moron. You gotta use the Bounty 5000 to initiate a bounty. That's what I went through all the trouble of setting it up for.
Okay, Jesus.
Okay. Can I talk to you?
So bounty hunting, huh? Are you
VC,
really
thank you
going
for
to
that
kill
Bezos
people?
money.
Actually, we've killed a couple people already, you know. And so did you. So soon we forget.
Fine, I guess I'll just hang around at home and wait for you to do all your little murders.
Are you mad at us or jealous?
Jealous? I want to kill evil aliens too. Go ahead, don't worry about me. I'll
Okay.
be fine. Maybe I'll go see what the drinking age is here in space.
I don't like this trail of blood and shit going into my house. I don't like that. Okay. All right, let's go. Here we go. What do we gotta do?
Okay. I'm having sex.
Oh, Mike, you're so good. What is that? That's not how you laugh. Yeah, what the fuck? What is that? That's not how you laugh.
This is how I laugh now. It's funny. This is the end of the first episode. This is Space Friends. Thanks for watching.
We're the Gun Shooters. This is a new episode of Gun Shooters. There's 3 of us, and we all shoot guns at bad guys. I'm Jeffrey Gun Shooter.
I'm Jerry, also gun shooter.
And I'm Bob, gun shooter Smith.
Jerry, Bob, and Jeffrey Gun Shooter. One of them with the hyphenate Smith at the end. And we're all here to just totally shoot our guns and hurt bad guys.
Let me tell you, Jeffrey, I'm excited because I got a new gun I've been dying to try out.
Can you show me?
No. It's actually not allowed to be on TV.
The gun's not allowed to be on TV?
Are we still recording? I just was telling you personally, I was excited. I didn't want to do this one for the show.
We're off. Turn off the cameras.
I just...
Let me turn off the camera.
Yeah, it's just I feel like we used to do this off camera and it was more fun, but now that we made it our job, it just feels suffocating.
Is this not a scripted show? Is this a reality show?
This is a
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know.
It just feels like my passion, my heart's not there anymore. We used to do the gun shooting thing and it was just the 3 brothers and brother-in-law or something. I don't know what. 2 brothers and a brother-in-law, and we loved shooting guns, but now it's just like, oh, we got the sponsors giving us money, and you know that feels nice because I like money, but I just don't like losing that passion, my soul.
Hey, Bob, gun shooter Smith.
Wow.
Can you shoot this guy?
Yeah, but before I do that, can I just say, like, we had months of pre-production and months of planning before that where you had every opportunity to voice your opinion on this. I mean, maybe I'm talking out of turn. I mean, you just welcomed me into your family about 2 years ago.
Thank you for the clarification on when you entered our family.
Well, it's more for myself. My anniversary's coming up soon, and I don't want to forget.
Did you marry one of our sisters, maybe? Just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
And you took her name. That's very progressive of you.
Yeah, well, you know, it seemed like the right thing to do. I don't know.
We would have shot you if you didn't.
It was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if my brother-in-law tells me to shoot my other brother-in-law, I guess I gotta do it. But I mean.
Hey, are you guys still rolling, or is this off?
See, this is what I'm talking about. What's for the show? What's our life? What is my life anymore? It's just all TV.
The lines are blurred for sure.
The lines are blurred. I love you guys.
I love
Please
you
don't
too.
shoot me.
I love you too.
I love you too.
Please don't shoot me.
I won't shoot you.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
I'll shoot you a smile at the next family reunion.
Okay, buddy.
Are you guys still rolling?
No, we just cut. Hello.
Oh my god. This is great. Oh my god. I could watch this all day. I love that don't monetize your joy bit.
What? We can't hear you. I'm about to bang your mind. Show me what's in your pocket. What are you doing? I will guess what's in your pocket. Get the fuck away from me. What are you? I have a deck of cards. Get the fuck. And one of the cards is marked with a signature. You're like grabbing at me. My arms just kind of do whatever they want to do. Please go away. I'm Darren Mindbanger.
Hi, I'm speaking
Horny geriatrics.
of horny geriatrics.
Okay, alright, we're gonna move on. Thank you, chat. This is great. Pebblbrained, thank you for the resub. Claudita, thank you for the resub. VC, thank you for the resub. Maniac and Noise, thank you so much for the 2 gift subs. Protaloon. Boy, Maniac, thank you again for those. Protaloon, thank you for the sub. Burville, thank you for the raid. Okay, we're caught up. Okay, oh my god, that was a lot.
We're not gonna stop having sex. We're not gonna stop being horny. That's all. That's my promise. Who does Clug think he is? But yeah, I've got wrinkly skin and I fuck all the time. I'm allowed. That's fine.
Alright, they clearly had a lot of fun making this. I'm very proud of them. Good for them. Wait, where are we going? Wait, what? That's my house. I was just there. I'm confused. Oh, that's this thing. Got it. Okay. Alright, I gotta go do this bounty. Oh.
Shit. Normally that door would open up a gateway that lets you walk right through it.
So what do we do?
Calm down. The bounty's right here in Blim. You mind just heading out on foot? The slums gateway ain't too far from here. I'll get the bounty 5,000 all fixed up.
Yeah, it's Cowboy Bebop down in
Yeah,
Sackley,
sure.
Caroline.
All right, let's go, bounty hunter.
Thank you. Okay. Let's do it. Here we go. All right. Here, come on. Let's get.
Don't forget to get my knife. We're looking for the gateway to the slums.
Wait, where's the knife?
Look, it shouldn't be too far. Listen, just follow the waypoint. That's why you're wearing that fancy suit, isn't it? I mean, it's got the augmented reality thing on it, right?
Hello, citizens. I'm Blim City Magistrate Clug Nugman, and I have heard your concerns. Murder rates are on the rise. The city's water supply has clearly been poisoned again by Gary the Poisoner. And the mandatory sexual repression chips that we put in our elderly citizens have once again backfired, this time making them far, far hornier than ever. However, there's something plaguing our city far worse.
Why don't they want to let the old people fuck?
Cold, hard drugs. These figures don't lie. However, things don't have to be this way. As Chancellor, under my 5-year plan, all drugs will be eradicated. And that's the Clug Nugman.
Dude, fuck you. That sucks.
City Clean initiative,
Nah.
we managed to keep drugs like Fergals and space meth out of the hands of our extremely horny geriatrics. No criminal organizations like the G3 cartel have been able to sow their evil seeds in our fair city.
Hey, don't even think about going down to the slum.
Yeah. This is a maintenance-only shit. Hey, kid, excuse me, can we get our, we need to make our way into the slums, please?
No.
Hold on. So you really want to get into the slums, huh? Then settle a bet for us.
Come on, don't make him answer this, man.
No, I want to know.
It's fine, we'll help.
Okay, great. If you saw us at the bar, which of us would you ask out?
Ooh.
I guess the red guy.
Whoa, seriously?
Okay, come on. You don't gotta say that just to make him feel better. He's a big boy. He can take it if you think he's way uglier than me.
No, they said me. They picked me, dude. They picked me, not you. They picked me. They said I was hotter, not you.
Well, it's true. Look at you. I'm not a liar, man. I never lied in my life. I look at you and I see filth.
No, well, that's not what they said. They said they picked me. They said I was hotter. Didn't you say that?
Listen, we're not switching around here. We picked the red guy. That's the direction we're moving in.
Thank you. Thank God. Thank you so much for that changing. I really thought you were going to flake on me. Thank you.
No, fuck you. Change your mind right now. Pick me instead. This is insane. I am so much hotter.
You need to chill out, all right? They picked me, and that's final. That's a final pick. If
Yeah,
you
you're
wanna
way
go pick
hotter,
on your own
dude.
Time, just let me have this one time, man. Hey, thanks for being honest. Look, don't tell anyone, but you can go through my door anytime you want from now on. Our little secret. Free passage in and out of the slums.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You have no idea how helpful that is.
Well, my door's locked forever. You made an enemy today. You're
Thanks.
never ever
Fuck
gonna
you.
get to use my door.
Well, you know what? That's fine.
Thank you,
because we have this other
Ingrid,
door that
for
works just as
the
well.
gift subs. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Ingrid.
I think we handled that as best
And
we could.
if you
know?
got a gift sub, please thank Ingrid. All right, here we go. Get down. Let's get down in the slums. Okay. Gotta get down here. Yeah, I didn't like. It's another hole that I'm diving into. Can we get a hole counter?
I've never been topside.
Oh Lord.
Oh no. Oh jeez.
Oh, it's a topsider.
Not interested.
Hey, oh my god, I broke my fucking leg coming down that pipe. Be careful.
Oh jeez.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, look what we got here. Fresh meat. Hey there, fresh meat. Welcome to the slums, fresh meat.
Oh boy, here we go. Fucking kid.
What's wrong, fresh meat? You scared of a little kid? Yeah, I'm a little kid. Look at me.
Whoa, what are you doing? Come on, he's just a kid. Don't shoot him.
I gotta shoot him.
You don't want to shoot me just because you're
Thank you, Miss Lynx.
not to, just because you're your little guy.
Thank you so much, Miss Lynx, for the gift sub.
Shootable I look.
Should we shoot the kid? What do you think?
Come on, let's see what you got, fresh meat. If you can't handle me,
I'm not shooting a kid.
go ahead. Do it. Shoot me, fresh meat. Shoot me. See what happens. Oh, don't. Ah, you shot me. I'm dead.
All right there. Are you happy now? Wow, I didn't think we'd be allowed to kill him. Normally, killing children in games isn't allowed, but he's dead. We killed this kid. Are you happy now? We killed a kid. A kid is dead now. There goes our E for everybody rating.
Attention, Blinn City citizen. You are wearing an unregistered bounty
Shit,
suit.
we gotta take down
Prepare
these
to
drones.
die.
Oh shit. Okay. Gaming. Okay, gaming. Okay, Dura Shield. Got it. Got it. Health pickup. Easy. No problem. Hey, what's up?
Finally happened. Someone killed my son.
Your son?
Yep. The kid up there who always calls everyone fresh meat.
We are so sorry. Listen, don't get used to that. We're not killing any more kids. I'm drawing the line, so savor it, enjoy it. It happened. Tuck it away in the old memory book.
No, it's fine. He was 30 years old, so don't feel too bad. 30 years old is still adolescence for our species, but it's not as bad as shooting like a 5-year-old or something. So don't worry, you just did regular murder. And I warned him over and over. I said, don't sit up there calling strangers fresh meat, or some gun-toting psychopath is gonna shoot you dead in cold blood. And you went and did it. Good for you. Anyway, please, just leave me to mourn.
Jesus.
Oh, my stupid, annoying son. I'll miss him a little bit. I'll miss him a very small amount.
Oh, poor lady. Can I shoot your fishes? This just feels like it's made to be dropped, you know? No? Okay. I want to see what that does. Oh.
Hey, you can't pass through here. It's Nine Torg's turn.
Jesus, enough with everyone getting in our way. We just want to kill Nine Torg.
Hey, what are you doing? What the fuck? Holy shit, you just killed Jason. Jason's dead.
Hey, why'd you leave?
Oh shit, here we go. We're gonna have to kill some of these Torg foot soldiers to prove ourselves around here. These people think we're weak. Not on my watch.
What are you, some kind of bounty hunter? The slums are full, asshole. Yeah.
Oh, these are bad guys? Fuck you guys. Okay.
Shit, they're shooting at us. Come, shoot back. Come on, shoot back.
It's gonna be so easy to kill you. Nine Torg trained us real good. We're the toughest enemies in the game, I think.
Nah, these guys aren't so tough. Squanch. It's a real Doom-style run and gun, this game. Alright, killing some ants.
Wow, all right. We got them all. Usually these
I'm so lonely over here. I got all this great information I could share. I'm just sitting here, fishing away, waiting for someone to come over and ask me stuff. I'm just gonna whistle to myself. Hello there, friend. Can I help you?
Do you know how we can get to Nine Torg?
Buddy, all I know is fish, and I barely know fish. But let's just pretend there's a laundromat you can sneak through to get to Sludge Works over there.
Are we pretending, or is there really a laundromat?
Come on, kid, take the hint. Either we're pretending, or Nine Torg's goons kill me for squealing.
Oh, okay, I got it. We're pretending.
Oh, Christ, just follow that path along the sludge.
So, what exactly are
What are you doing down here, bud?
I'm fishing. You can tell I'm fishing, right?
Oh, right, duh, of course, sorry. It's very obvious, yes. So, have you caught anything?
No, never have, never will. No fish can live down here in this sludge.
If there aren't any fish in there, why are you fishing? What is that? What's going on?
Because I'm still working up the courage to drown myself.
Jesus
Yikes,
Christ.
wow, okay. TMI, maybe, a little bit. You're a wise old fisherman. Can you tell us a little bit about Nine Torg?
Quiet. She's got ears everywhere. Or antennae, whatever ants here with.
Is she really that dangerous? Come on. I mean, she's just one gang lord.
Just one? What about the other 8 Torgs?
Wait, so the 9 and 9 Torg it's a counter? There's 9 Torgs?
9 clones, yep. And that's just what's left. There used to be even more of them, but they always kill each other, fighting for dominance over what? This hellhole? This month, 9 Torgs in charge. Last month, it was 14 Torg before they killed her. Now 9 Torgs fighting with 5 Torg. It never ends.
Which one do you prefer?
8 Torg is the hottest.
Hey, thanks for the info,
All right.
wise fisherman. We'll see you later.
Have a good day now.
Okie doke, let's get out of here. Come on, gun.
Oh, hey, you want to see a cool party trick I used to do? Aim me at those platforms. Come on, give it a shot. It'll be fun.
What? It's platforms with the green goo. Oh.
Told you. Did you see how fun that was? I call it my glob shot. It comes out of my trick hole. All Gatlians have a different... Yes! Oh my god, I could do this all day. Doesn't this fucking rule? God, I love spewing big gloopy globs.
Gene says I need to borrow something from your room, but I wouldn't touch it when I'm done with it if I were you. That's nice. Dude, look at this guy.
Yet. We're gonna need something sharp.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got it. Got it. Good.
All right, we're having some trouble. Whoa, perfect shot! You fucking nailed it! How sick was that? Whew, okay, I gotta recharge. It doesn't take too long, but it's a little longer when there's enemies nearby, you know? My body gets too tense. It's like trying to piss when someone's watching, you know?
The trick holes. What? What's up? Can I jump to that? Oh god, that was close. Okay.
Oh shit, here come more guys. Go nuts. Use my glove shot and then just shoot them in the air and juggle them. It'll sick, I promise. And now, juggle. Keep shooting them while they're in the air. You can juggle them and it does more damage and it looks cool too. Exterminated. Ah, sorry, yeah, no, my glove shot takes a little longer to recharge when we're in combat. My body's all tense during a fight, you know? It's like my muscles aren't loose. It takes longer to recharge.
All right. It really is his glue. It's his he gets performance anxiety. Oh jeez. Oh god. Oh jeez. Okay, come on. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, gaming. Okay, game.
Looks like he was die clean only. All right, this has to be the way to 9 Torg. Let's keep moving.
Hey, careful with the merchandise.
Whoa, hold up a bit.
We got a
Let's
fire
listen.
lined up and everything. They're gonna be here any minute. Just patient.
Oi, fuck you! I'm sick of this. I want to tear through someone's guts.
Oh, I think they're talking about Gene's knife.
Fuck you!
Got it, freak. We've had enough of your bullshit.
Yeah, it's your fault Stebulax is dead. I was in love with him. Did you know that? I loved him. And now his head's cut off.
Just the way it should be. Fuck him!
Hey, guess what? I have another secret trick you can use. The power of negotiation. Let's try reasoning with these guys. Knock on the door. Tell me how you want to play this.
Fuck you insufferable fucking cunts when I'm loose.
Who's there? Who are you?
Hey. Hello there, friends.
Oh, I think it's the buyer.
Hey, are you the buyer?
Yeah, we're here to buy a knife. You guys are selling a knife, yeah?
Oh, perfect. You're really late. We were starting to get worried.
Just go with it. No shooting.
All right, here's the product. A genuine talking knife. I gotta be honest with you, he's a real piece of shit.
He's extremely violent. He basically only talks about wanting to kill people in very disturbing ways.
Fuck you, I'm gonna carve out your anal cavity. Gonna make it 3 times as big. Your shit's just gonna drop right out of there.
See what I'm talking about?
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is exactly what I've been wanting.
Try him out, see how he feels.
Oh, fuck yes, thank you. Pleased to meet you. I'm Knifey. Now use me. Let me fucking stab these cocksucking. Oh, fuck yes, finally. Fuck yes, more. I need more stabbing. Hey, you, listen. Point me at your raw, fleshy little tummy and jab me right into there. Let's get all those guts torn up. Let's see that fucking red goop spill out. I can't stop now.
Oh, that's a pass for us. Is this really the knife Gene was talking about?
Gene? Did you just say Gene? Okay, change of plans. Bring me to Gene so I can fucking decapitate him!
Wait, what? Why? He sent us to rescue you!
Oh, that's rich. There's no way I'm forgiving him, though, for leaving me with that fucking Nine-Torg. He's dead to me!
Huh? You know Nine-Torg? We're trying to kill her!
Oh,
why is it Australian?
Finally, we're on the same page! Let's kill Nine-Torg, then Gene!
Okay, definitely Nine-Torg, but let's put a pin in the whole Gene thing. How do we get out of here?
With my tether ability! I'm more than just a knife, you racist! I can tether too! Look up and latch on!
It won't let me stab. Did you want me to stab? You didn't want me to stab. Okay. Huh? What's going on here?
Yeah, here we go. Okay. Fucking cool, right? You gotta use me to swing across this sludge. Oh, fuck yeah! Not as good as stabbing, but still pretty good.
Well, all right. Where to next?
The Sludge Works processing plant. Nine-Torg was talking about some traitor she had to deal with. Probably another one of her clones. 5-Torg or 6-Torg or whatever. I don't know. There's too many now. There's too many Torgs.
How many clones are there?
Who the fuck cares? Stop thinking so hard and just look for the big Sludge Works sign. I want to stab somebody. Oh, a lug locks. Use me. I can open those fuckers up real good. And there's loot inside for you too. Win-win. Yes.
Thank you for the sip. Woo. All right.
So you mentioned that Gene gave you to Nine-Torg?
Gave? Try gambling away in a game of space poker.
Oops.
That sack of shit. Can't wait to stab all 3 of his fucking eyes. Even the wonky one. Especially the wonky one.
This mechanic isn't great. I can't quite attach. Oh, there we go.
What happened to Gene? Didn't he used to be a hero?
Yeah, used to be. Hard to tell these days, right? Towards the end, the only thing I was cutting for him was sandwiches. Not even the good ones. Peanut butter sandwiches. And no fucking jelly. Not even one. Oh, they look stabbable. Oh, yes! Oh, do this every time! Never fire your Gatlian again. Please, just use me for killing now. Make it a knife be only any % run.
I'm trying to make him happy. I like the knife. I like the knife. He's
Oh, hey, there's
just
some
average
Gatterall.
Australian
That'll fill me back up. Whoa,
guy.
thank
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
Okay, feed me that Gatterall, baby. Come on, put it in my little mouth. Feed me the Gatterall. Mamma mia, that's the stuff.
Oh, Justin Roiland. You're so silly for this one. Oh, here we go. That guy's.
Oh, brother.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You see how cool this is? Get fucked in! You just got juggled!
Ooh, got a game. Forgot I got a game. Okay. Okay. Oh, jeez.
In the fluids of our brethren, when they shed, scare us. Protect Nine Torg at all costs.
Okay, gotta kill 9 Torg. Okay, guys, watch out. Okay, sorry, ants.
Kill, yes, kill.
Gotta get him. Okay. Sorry. Hey, what's up? Okay.
You know what? No, we're all gonna die. Not sure why. We're still fighting, but let's just keep going until we all get killed. Why not?
Poor ants.
Whew, okay. I'm not sure what came over me there. I think I got caught up in the moment or something, but hey, good work, team. Let's go get 9 Torg.
Words, 5 Torg?
Is that 9 Torg talking?
Fuck off! I've always said you were the worst Torg! You know, 7 Torg said the same thing. Right before I killed her. Damn you! And you're next.
You got this!
Oh, looks like it's 9 Torg. Gotta get her. Okay.
We're hurting you!
No! Fuck you!
Okay, get her. Come on. Gaming.
Are you even a real bounty hunter?
Jesus, it's so gross you even Yeah, so stop diving into it! Shit, she's filling the place with sludge! Stay in the air!
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Hey, I'm still here. You can still use me if you want. I can deflect attacks. Did you know that? I'm not just all about stabbing. Well, I'm mostly all about stabbing and tethering, but I can also deflect attacks. I'll slice in the fucking.
How do you deflect attacks?
Oh, fucking! I'll rip their limbs. I'll fucking do everything.
Oh, I can do that. That's cool.
Asshole off and eat it.
Great. You can like.
Let's give him a glob shot. Right out of my trick hole.
Right out of my trick hole. Trick hole.
Oh, would you just die already?
Hey, it's me, Foxhorn! Kill my shitty clone! I'm rooting for you!
Oh, jeez, that's tough. Okay.
Incoming lasers!
Wait, how do I?
Fuck. Let me out of bounty hunter.
Ow, I know this is hurting you too, so get the fuck out of there! Wow, we're having our first...
Holy cow. Thank you for the holy cow, Sage. Shit, I died. I didn't think I was going to. Okay. Alright.
Come on, admit it, we're hurting you!
There's no health pickups, I guess.
Wow, we're actually hitting her!
Okay.
Jesus, it's so gross you even went in there!
No, the holy cow is perfect.
Sludge tastes like shit!
Yeah, so stop diving into it! Shit, she's filling the place with sludge! Stay in the air! Here we go!
Better not fall in!
Hey, I'm still here. You can still use me if you want. I can deflect attacks. Did you know that? I'm not just all about stabbing. Well, I'm mostly
Here we go, trick hole.
and tethering, but I can also deflect
Let's use that trick hole.
I'll slice in the fucking dead. I'll cut their fucking heads off. Oh, fucking I'll rip the end of this. I'll fucking do it.
Where'd she go? Oh, shit.
I'll cut their fucking
I guess I can't juggle her in the same way I can.
Yeah, bitch! Are you even a real bounty hunter?
Yeah, I hurt you.
Go for it. You guys can do it. Woo. Surprise! Flex bag! Hey, it's me, 5-Toy! Kill my shitty clone! I'm rooting for you!
Fuck, I got some on me!
Oh, incoming laser!
Oh, you can hop it. I see. Got it. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Wow, we're having our first real boss fight together.
Alright. I hate this goo.
I'll be honest, I really want you to use my glob shot.
I know, you really like it when I use your glob shot. I know. Where is she?
My ancestors are extremely strong.
Honestly, I don't think they were. We're new at this, and it was pretty easy to kill them all.
That really hurts.
Oh, would you just die already? Take that!
Gotcha, 9-Torg. Come on, fuck you. Eat shit. Eat shit. Let's go.
You know how much I hate you?
I'm gonna use my trick hole shot. No, I can't. I can't do it yet. Oh, fuck. Oh, gaming. Okay, come on.
If I'm going out, I'm taking you with me.
Oh, shit. Okay, gotta go.
Shit, just stay alive. I think she's basically done for.
Ay, ay, ay. All right, gaming.
Hey, nice work killing 9-Torg.
Thanks. Wow, we killed a bounty. How do you feel, bounty hunter? I feel pretty good. I really didn't know if we'd be able to pull it off.
All right, it's time.
Time for what?
Time to carve out a piece
Thank you for the
of
posture
it.
check.
I'm thinking we go with a full
Cowgirl.
slab of thigh meat, but since it's your first, I'll let you pick.
Jesus, are you kidding?
What kind of?
Oh God, I can't look. I can't.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck hell, she's a gusher.
Couldn't we have just taken like a fingernail, some spit, maybe a blood sample?
Yeah, sure, could have, I guess.
Hey, I'm 5-Torg. Thank you for killing my evil clone. I don't mind if you mutilate her corpse, really. It's fine. You did such a good job. That was like off the hook.
You're not gonna take over and end up being just as evil as 9-Torg, right?
Oh, don't worry. Things are gonna be a lot different around here.
So, no more crime then?
Oh, not that different then. Technically, all of us Torgs are evil clones, so I'm still gonna do a bunch of crime. But we're cool.
Huh?
Far as I'm concerned, you're a friend of the Torg family and welcome here anytime. An honorary Torg. You can be 10 Torg. Now, if you'll excuse me, my day just became very full.
What do I do?
Are you gonna be okay if we just kind of leave you hanging up there?
Oh, yeah, I can get down just fine. Hanging from ropes feels nice for my species. Hey, it's good for our backs. I'm actually the one who put myself here. Thanks for the rescue. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna hang here for a bit. Yeah, next time you come back, I'll be off being really busy running everything and, doing stuff. 'Cause, yeah.
Good for you.
All right, let's go home and turn in our first bounty.
Should I go collect this thing? That's probably worth it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
some pretty solid bounty hunting back there. I mean, don't get too cocky about it or anything, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad. That was some good killing. And I'm somewhat of a killing expert, actually.
I can't wait to see Gene's face when he sees we pulled this off. Let's head back up through the slums tunnel.
Yeah. Hey, you thought you'd be on the
I don't know why that guy even bothered attacking us. I almost feel bad.
All right, I got a little fast travel. Okay, let's check that out. Let's check it out. What do we want? Enemy chatter, gun chatter. It's already frequent. Oh yeah, that's okay. I like frequent.
Oh, you're back. Hey, yeah, my leg's still very broken.
Hey, fuck you! I'm still pissed at you!
Hey, I hope you had a good time in the slums. Come visit anytime.
Just don't talk to me.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you, dude. I don't like your attitude.
Hard drugs. These figures don't lie. However, things don't have to be this way. As Chancellor, under my 5-year plan, all drugs will be eradicated. And that's the Klugnugman promise. Thank you.
Okay, chat. I think we're gonna take a quick break.
Today, the star of the new
And
film.
we're gonna say hi to the sister first.
Sorry, is that your real name?
Huh? Why is the door closed?
Coincidence that I had that name before I got the part in this movie.
Who is it?
Yeah, I'm the...
You got my munch dash delivery?
Yeah, that's
What? No, it's us.
Oh shit! Really? Good job. Oh, hold on.
Is that Jane? Okay, get ready.
Yes, Iron. I'm gonna do album of the day while we
belly.
take a pause here.
Mostly just was excited to fuck the turtles. You just wanted to fuck the turtles, huh? It wasn't even about the money or the fame for you. That's right. It was only about fucking the turtles. Were the turtles okay with being fucked? Oh my god, yeah.
What the hell, Gene?
He installed new locks because he assumed you'd get killed. He keeps saying it's his house now.
What? No. I just took the liberty of upgrading your security. Did you really kill Nine Torg, though?
Yeah, we actually did.
Well. Didn't think you had it in you. I'm really blown away. I'll be honest with you. I expected you to die.
Oh, thank you.
So, what did it feel like, killing Nine Torg?
Look, I gotta be honest, it felt good. It felt great. I mean...
Hey, Gene, lift up that shirt and expose your soft little belly for me. I'm coming in hot.
Yeesh. Forgot how psycho he was. Why don't you just, hold on to him for now?
Oh, sure, yeah, we'll keep him far away from you.
Yeah, thanks. Now, go turn in your bounty at the Bounty 5000. I got it all set up for you.
No, seriously, let me stab him.
All right, let's stab him.
Ah! What the fuck? You have to do everything the fucking UI tells you to do?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck you, Gene, you piece of shit.
Oh, shit, sorry.
It's fine. I've lived through worse.
Okay, he's tough. Let's try again later then.
Oh my God, Tammy and T-Rex. Wow, what a reference. I didn't notice that. Thank you for bringing that for. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna pause for a sec, everybody. I'm gonna play. My favorite jazz record has got to be. So this is kind of the pinnacle of the spiritual jazz genre, which is a record by Alice Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders, who are two of the greats. I'm a huge fan of Alice Coltrane, huge fan of Pharoah Sanders, and this was their collaboration, one of their collaboration records, and it's called Journey in Satchidananda. And it's fantastic, and enjoy it while we take a little potty break, everybody. See you soon. Hello, chat. Sorry, it took me a little bit longer than normal. Had a brief phone call I had to hop on for 1 second. Sorry about that. Welcome back, everybody. And we're going to get back into High on Life. Hope you had a nice time with Alice and Pharaoh. Thank you so much, Amy Ka, for the resub. Trice, thank you for the gift sub to LV Doomian. And thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for staying with us. Hope that you enjoyed your little spiritual jazz break. I'm going to turn it down now. And we're gonna get back into the game. Alright, who wants to laugh? Who wants to hee hee ha ha? You guys want to hee hee ha? Who wants to hee? Who wants to ha? Okay. Let's see some chips in the chat for giggles. Okay, can we get some chips in the chat for the hee haws and the ha 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 ha? Thank you for the tee-hees and the hee-haws. And the ha-ha-ha's. And the lols. Let's get some lols in the chat. Let's get some lol. Okay, we're hopping back in the game. I gotta get a transition so it's not just black screen for a second. I gotta get one of those, like, wipes. What should I put on my wipe? Should it be, like, lots of chips? Well, I don't know. All right, let's get a little tee-hees. Let's get our tee-hees in. Here we go, everybody. It's time for little tee-hees. Oh, I'm using the wrong controller. Oops. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, everybody. It's Rick and Morty game. Oh, Tammy T-Rex. Okay. What's up? What's going on? Should we say hi to our sister?
What, you're some sort of bounty hunter now? What are you gonna save humanity? You only kill the bad guys, not the good ones.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? Are you proud of your sibling here?
I mean, not really, but you enjoy. You enjoy.
You're not proud of. What are you doing? Live, love, clock. Very good. All right, let's do another bounty, I guess. Thank you for the eat shit, Passion. Thank you so much. Okay, Torg, so we got turn in that bounty.
Well, there you go. You're a real bounty hunter now.
Huh, would you look at that? I guess we're really doing it.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to get your footing so quick. I don't even have any leads on any G3 bounties. You're, serious about going after them, huh?
You bet. We'll take them all down, including Garmantuous.
Well, you're welcome to try, and if you do, you might want to go to the pawn shop and buy back the Dodge unit I pawned off. Forgot to tell you about it. Go scrounge up some pesos and buy that, or whatever else tickles your fancy. I'll have some G3 bounties ready for you by the time you get back.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks, Gene. Just maybe next time don't assume we're just gonna die.
Right. Got it. You're really gonna need that Dodge unit from the pawn shop. The suit's not really complete without it.
They must. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look, I know
let's go. No. We're walking this.
Buy back that Dodge.
We're watching this. Did they? I hope they have the whole movie on here.
You don't want to go to the pawn shop? Well, I'm not doing any more research on the G3 until you do.
You can watch the whole movie, Rachel. Is that true? Oh my god. Is it on when we come back? Can we like come check in a little bit? This song. They really did it. Oh wow. I feel like they just made a movie. I mean, they made a game just so they could do this, you know? Shit, I wish I'd known the timing. I would have just set this up for my pee break. Passion, why can't you do it? Is it because of the puking? That's what a lot of people say. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I understand.
Sociology, you want to walk with her?
Yeah, sure.
She's a sociology major?
Oh, you look awful. What happened?
Coach's paying us back for losing.
I gotta say, I remember as a kid being like, "That's I like her." She's got the eyebrows. What's up? Oh, who's this? These are friends?
Oh my goodness.
I can't watch this whole. I can't watch the whole movie right now. But I want to come back and watch Tammy and the T-Rex later. I'm waiting for the T-Rex to show up.
Well, I got to fly. Bye, Michael.
I don't know. I think Rick and Morty has this problem. I think it's one of these classic situations where, like, the fan base and the things like surrounding it, and like the way that it's worked its way into popular culture, it does it a disservice. Like, it's pretty. I've definitely seen some episodes that I was kind of like, this is really fucking funny and really clever writing and really weirdly moving at times and all that, but like, it's at this point even cringe to say so because of all the Pickle Rick t-shirts, you know?
Stop watching my prank show. I'm really bad at them, and now it's over. But you ah, God damn it. All right, one more prank. Here we go. Ring, 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 ring.
Passion, that is a trauma. Passion, stop trauma dumping in the chat, please. There's a section in the Discord for you to share this kind of thing, Passion. It's not. This isn't the right place. All right. Where's Mr. Keeps? Okay. We support you, Passion. We support you. We feel bad for you. It's a terrible thing that happened to you.
Hey, Gene said you might have the old Dodge unit that goes with this bounty suit.
Oh yeah, we got that. Why? You want it? I want it too. So it'll cost you.
Yeah. No, we know how buying stuff works.
The little dudes. Okay, Dodge unit there. Oh, I got the money for that. It's perfect. Dodge unit, dodge fast. Okay, cool.
One Dodge unit. Have a nice life.
All right, we got it. Let's try this bad boy out and then head back to Gene.
Took you long enough.
Okay.
Concrete I poured's dry now.
Oh, nice. Cool. What's up, dude?
You like hanging out here, don't you? Well, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Should I buy a children's onesie? I don't know why. I can generate slime faster, get the glob shots. Okay. These are just gun upgrades. Oh, that's fun. All right, let's buy the glob kidney.
Get out of here.
Talk to the kid. This kid?
Make it quick. Why is this taking so long? You gotta buy something. You ever been to a store before? You know how this works, right? Oh, hurry
I love
up,
pickles. Are we hating on pickles in general in the chat? What's wrong with you? Come on.
Can you even read?
Pickles, you can pickle anything too. It's not
Better lock those doors.
just the premise of pickling. Maybe you just haven't found the right pickle. I like to make my own pickles. Love to make pickles. Very fun to make a pickle.
I was just doing smuffleguffins. You know, smuffleguffins, like just regular old plain smuffleguffins. Blatantly.
Oh.
Smuffleguffins. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I am a smuffleguffin from life to death. I will be a smuffleguffin person all the time, and that's why. Are we getting a divorce? Because that's where I draw the line. All right, listen. We are getting a divorce, and that's why you gotta watch Alien Channel 5102
the newest reality show about us getting a divorce because she's into smuffleguffins and I'm trying to cook a delicious dinner for the two of us and she's not here and it gets cold because she's out fucking smuffleguffin'ing. Check it out. It's very entertaining. We'll see you there. Oh, man. What's going on, Papo?
I'm just a tiny little Papo boy, you know? I'm a tiny little guy.
I know, but like from what I'm seeing, you look like your shoes are on backwards, your t-shirt's on back. What do you do? You're doing the crisscross thing? Is that from the human race thing that we're?
No, it's not the crisscross.
Atlanta, Georgia is not a sponsor.
Thing at all. I'm just I'm trying to figure out my life.
All right, okay, stop wasting my time. We are here to advertise shirts, ties, suits. We guarantee it. You're gonna look good.
Ow, my shoes are on. Ow, my shoes are on backwards.
Yeah, we guarantee your suit will be on not backwards. All right, thank you so much. That's our commercial.
All right, this is good. This is good. This is fun. This is fun. This is nice. I'm gonna have to revisit this game a little later after I eat some Altoids. Oh, Tammy's back.
Okay, great. You got the Dodge unit. So how about?
Ah, they turned it off. Come on.
What do you mean?
The big league, the G3 cartel. That's the next step. Taking down their head officers.
Okay, you're positive that we're ready for that?
Yeah, whatever. Might as well try. But they won't be pushovers like Nine Torque. So, well, to be honest, I don't care if you live or die. You know that. You know my whole deal. But hey, it's your funeral. So go check out the Bounty 5000 whenever you're ready. Got 2 G3 leads for you right now.
All right.
Krubis and Douglas.
Let's go. Do you want to do Krubis or you want to Douglas? I think I want to do Krubis. I'm going to do Krubis. Is he starting it over?
Zephyr Paradise.
Oh, wow.
Gorgeous, huh?
Oh wow, we're in the jungle.
Howdy, I'm Quentin the Grunton. Welcome to Zephyr Paradise.
Oh shit, a G3 Grenton. Okay, now the cartel knows we're here.
Whoa, rude, never mind.
Got him. How do I get up there, Global? Oh, wow. Okay, gotta jump up, I guess.
Whew. Wow,
Got
they
something
only
to
brought
swing
me here
on?
a couple of times. Looks like they haven't ruined this part of the jungle yet.
I'm an iPad kid? What? Wait. What's going on? Why am I an iPad kid? Since when am I iPad? Why? What did I do? I have a great attention span. I'm not Mike's iPad kid. No, I can focus.
Listen, if
so
any part
good.
of you is feeling bad about killing these little mites, don't. Leading scientists looked into it, and they have no feelings. They're just like, I don't know. What do you have on your planet? Like fish? Did that translate right? Translator microbes. They just ate a glob. We're gonna kill you, you fucking mites.
I'm focused, chat. I'm focusing. I'm not an iPad kid. When I was a child, I wasn't allowed to play video games unless I read a book for the same amount of time that I could play the video games. And honestly, I wish I still did that because I forgot how to read. But I'm not an iPad kid, I promise. Oh God.
Oh, these things. Okay, do you know what fan plants are? You shoot the little bud, and then the thing. Okay, yeah, you figured it out. Ooh, what is it?
Oh, it's Lizzie, that's nice. She's gonna look for mom and dad. Okay. Oh god, okay. How are we gonna... Okay. I don't like this environment. I do like gold. I do like treasure. Oh god. Oh god. Oh fuck.
Oh shit. Why would you go
shit.
in here? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, gun. Okay, good. I got it, gun. I did it, gun. Okay, now we go here. Oh god. Okay. All right, gotta get in this cave.
I'm heading into a tunnel. No, I'm just kidding. Just some cell phone humor, just to lighten the mood, you know. Oh, a Fergal den. Oh man, you know, you actually have a lot in common with these guys. You know, aside from all the hair, you know, you're both being sold as drugs for aliens to get high off of. You know, you guys are. It's like you're almost related in a way. You know, if you think about it.
I love the premise that aliens want to steal Earth so they can turn humans into drugs. It's a good premise. It's a good bit. Congrats to Justin and Squanch, all these guys. Funny idea. Funny idea. You got a gun that talks to you. That's funny. Great idea. Oh, these are bad guys.
Oh shit. Okay, G3 are warping in. You ready to fight? You need a pep talk?
Honestly, I had this coming.
Alright, got a glob.
Woo. Shit, they just keep coming. Too easy.
I fell asleep during the briefing. Who do we shoot at? It's run time, baby.
Scrunch. Get over there. Okay. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh god. Okay, come on. Ah. Oh jeez. The knife is really a lot.
Stay back. Oh, sorry. I thought you were a G3. They enslaved our whole village. I don't know what to do.
Oh my god.
I think we can help.
Really? Thank you.
Oh
It
god.
sucks so much watching everyone you know getting
Oh
enslaved.
jeez. Oh god. It's so cute. I'm not gonna shoot it, don't worry. Alright, well what are we supposed to do? We're gonna keep going.
Rude or anything. It's just that you said you'd help save all of my friends. They're just up in that village up ahead.
Yeah. This way, right?
Let's use my glob shot.
Ooh, that was close.
Hey, I got an idea. Try launching that Merc with the fan plant. Oh, look at him go.
That was funny. Good job. Nice idea.
Okay, shit, that village is swarming with cartel guys. How do you want to deal with this?
I can't believe the moplets live in this crappy village. Their lives must suck. Yeah, well, we did enslave them. Well, of course their lives suck now, but I mean, This moplet village is in the G3 jurisdiction. Get out of here!
Oops.
Why are you even interfering? Just leave it alone. The moplets like being our slaves.
No, slavery is bad. I'm gonna kill you. Gonna getcha. Gonna shoot my goo at ya. You're gonna get got by it. Woo! Okay, come on.
There we go, all healed up. Where are you? Okay, geez, all right, more combat. All right, let's see what we got.
Oh, jeez. Okay, got him. Ay. All right, chat, I'm focused. Hold on, gotta get the headshots. Gotta save these little cute little bears. Right?
These little guys barely even count. Let's glob it to them.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? You look like you're like the priest of the, maybe like a pope kind of figure. You look like some kind of religious figure. I hope you don't do anything bad to children. Okay, let's oh jeez, oh god. That guy was kind of scary looking. All right, what's going on? Oh jeez, okay. Oh jeez, what's your deal? Fuck you guys. Okay, got him. Okay, we're good. All right.
You gotta try this Gatterall sometime. It might kill you though. That's the only thing.
I would date you, but enough to kill you.
What?
Hello? Bounty hunter, can you hear me?
What's that? Oh. Ah! Yeah, stop trying to kill me.
Oh, look out, I'm gonna Rombo you, grenade!
Okay. Oh, jeez. That was pretty satisfying.
Thanks a lot for saving us.
Oh, hi.
Huh? Did we just rescue some guys? Hey, listen, guys, we got you. You're free now. Go be free.
Hi there. Did you save us from the G3?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, do we get like a reward?
We don't have much. Maybe you should hit up our leader?
Welcome, welcome. We are Moplets, native to this planet. Our tribe is forever in your debt. Our leader would like to speak with you.
Oh, okay, sure.
Hello there, Savior. My people were enslaved by the G3 and forced to desecrate the land mining for Fergals. You may have freed this small tribe, but our brethren underground are still being worked to death by Krubis.
Krubis? You know, we're actually looking for him to kill?
What's this? You aim to take down Krubis of the G3? You are truly a hero to Moplets everywhere.
Yeah, sure. Where is he? We'll get rid of him for you.
That's difficult to answer. His work, though evil, keeps him very busy. He oversees many different mines across Zephyr, and it's impossible to predict where he may be on any given day.
My liege, what about the man in the mansion?
Of course, a brilliant plan. My advisor is right. There's a man nearby who knows Krubis and has access to a warp device. We may be able to use him. He lives in a mansion across the river. If you could get your hands on his warp device, that could be very useful.
Okay,
sure. A guy in a mansion. That's the plan.
That's enough exposition for me, okay?
Be our best chance.
Okay, I gotta go.
I guess I was blabbering too much.
Yeah.
Let's go to that mansion and get the warp device.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Sick of this exposition. I don't need it. I don't need all that. I don't need that. Gotta get the crystals.
Hey, somebody warped in over here. I bet we can cross now.
You're the one who fucked up the coordinates. How are we gonna get this thing out of the river? I fucked them up. I just typed in what you told me to type in. Hey, fuck you.
Ooh. Okay, here we go. Oh no, that's the wrong way. Oh god. Okay, what do I gotta do? I gotta climb up on top. Can I? What am I doing wrong here? Okay, game. There we go. I gotta do this. Okay. Okay, here we go, game.
Quit the grin again! Hello to you!
Oh shit, more G3!
Whoa! I'm not G3! I quit! I'm a deserter! I was just flying around here trying to make new friends!
Oh, that's cool, but you know what, listen, we're busy.
Oh, don't worry! I won't be too much of a bother!
He's just gonna hang with me, huh? Alright.
Nice out today, I'd say. Hey, look, you're on a catapult! I bet you can use that to launch stuff! Will you do it? I wanna see! That will be so cool! I love cool stuff! What was I saying again? Oh, it's a nightmare. But I digress, you know, I don't... Did you know that I used to work? Actually, I used to work for the G3! Could you believe that? Yeah, and
Trying to push the stuff. Come on.
Obviously, and there's a death warrant out for my arrest, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. That's here with the choices I've made today. I've started to take care of. Oh, nice try, but I'm too slow. Fed them and clothed them. Heal them. And you know my mother. She always said, "Oh, you'll join G3 one day. You're not good, Quentin." She always would say to them, "You're not good." Well, look at you go! You're really playing. You're trying to copy me. I bet you want to be just like me because I'm so cool. Well, tough luck. I'm the only me. Don't try to be me. Hey, fuck you! I don't even want to get started on her. You have no idea what it's like to have a mother who doesn't support your dreams. All I ever wanted to be. You really want to shoot me, huh? Oh, so to continue. All I ever wanted to
Love this character.
jungle mistress. Hey, now that
Just
was impressive.
really annoying piece of shit.
Because I want to shake their head. I want to kiss him on that big, fat lips. I want to fall in love and marry them and get sex. That's normal. It's what you do when you're in love, idiot. What was I saying again? I wanted to grab the purple trees and create amazing clothing for their culture. From getting me the robots to save up. So I joined the G3. I'll take anything. I've been aimless most of my life. I'm alone here, to be honest, just in a valley covered with sludge. Haha, yeah, keep trying to shoot me. This is fun. But at least the Fergals don't judge me. Oh, look at me, but you missed. Oh, look, I dodged a bullet. You must feel very insecure about that. Ha 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 ha. I didn't want to get into it. Control my... No, Helen.
Oh, God. This is really funny. Yeah, stop trauma dumping, dude.
I got teased relentlessly in high school. But no, I still still go to my mother.
Okay, you look a little overwhelmed. Look, I'm sorry. I know everything's getting thrown at you all at once. It's a lot of shit. Let me try to summarize. There's a big evil giant slug guy named Garmantuous who invaded your planet. He's the leader of the G3 drug cartel. They're an alien drug cartel.
Too much going on.
They're the biggest ones out there.
You gotta stop.
I didn't want to get started on my choices I've made, on my relationships I've had. Oh, Tiffany. Oh, I had a real one. She was so pure. She could sing like an angel. Oh, and then I fucked it up. I lied to her about what I did. She said, Quentin, please and never mind my mind. You're zipping on mine.
Shit, this guy won't stop.
Oh, and I say it again. Hoppa, hoppa. Quite the landing. That's not your first time on a zip line, is it? Oh,
How do I kill him? Oh God.
because you seem so experienced.
Does he ever shut up?
Now she's dating some.
Hey, you gotta buy something, please. I'm fucking dying here. I thought maybe you were a hallucination, but you're not, so that's great.
Okay, do I want some ammo? Or do I want more health? Ooh. Probably gonna go for health. Thank you for the sip, girl, Brazilian girl. Yeah, I need a little pause from that guy. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, hold on. Let me just stretch. That guy's exhausting. Okay. It's not. Yeah, there he goes.
Look at that smile and sunny disposition. You must have bought something really good in there. I'm proud of you. In fact, I'm attracted to you. You deserve all the good things you want, and you supported a local business. That's just fantastic. It helps the economy out here. You're helping the shop that set up some.
What do I put in there? Something. I gotta put something in there. Oh my god, I hate this guy.
They ever made. That probably was gonna sell that little inklings. Oh, whoops! I just realized I'm late for my big date. I'm gonna go fuck another really hot Grayton. Wish me luck. It was so nice meeting you.
Finally, thank God. I don't know how much more I could have taken.
That was brutal. Can't wait to kill that guy. Oh God. Oh jeez. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Oops. I just don't believe that he's going on a date. That guy. You know? Or does she know that it's a date, you know? Like he has a crush on like his tax officer. He's like hired her to do his taxes and he's gonna like stay longer than he needs to. You can do something to make her job more difficult so that she has to spend more time with him. I don't like these guys. Fuck off. Come on. Get out of here. Using that Gatterall. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh God. Woo! Pew 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 pew. Da 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 da. Gotcha. Come on. What's that? It's like an armored one? Wow. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Louise. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, God. Ah! There's too many of these guys. Oh god. Oh god. Got him. Oh jeez. Okay. Eat shit. Come on, fuck you.
Go for it. You guys can do
Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you so much. This is some real gaming. I haven't played a first-person shooter other than I guess Overwatch in like years. Topsy, it's really funny. It's definitely like really good writing, very silly, very meta. It's a very interesting experience. I don't know that like the gameplay is
to maintain a place like this, you know?
extraordinary, but the story of it and the writing has been something. It's been really good. Whoa, cool house.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, hey, you made it. You got my fresh Fergles?
What? Yeah, this is the guy we're looking for.
Huh, I don't see a warp device on you. Come on, is Krubus making you hook it around on foot? Oh, that cheapskate bastard. Same old Krubus. I'm telling you, man. Here, I got an extra.
All right, so we found our rich guy cokehead.
Don't let anyone ever tell you Ranchi's not a generous fella, okay? There's an unused warp disk in there, too. You know, warp in whatever's on there. I don't...
All right, got a warp remote.
Charge. There's a river near here. You can probably cross with it. Oh, man, go nuts. It works. Warpaholics.
Which one? This one? Okay.
Wow, thank you.
What did it say? Hold it? Oh, warp discs.
Hey, come here. Lean in close. Get close to me, man. I'm sure Krubus told you I'm here on Zephyr to break ground on the new Delarmo Land Resort. Yeah, I'm that Ranchi Delarmo, CEO, Delarmo Industries. This one's gonna be even better than the... Whoa, what the hell are you doing? Pretending to shoot me? You crazy fuck. I get it. Yeah, you got me. You really had me going there for a second. Man, you are just like Krubus. Always pranking. Fun stuff.
Why can't I shoot him? Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. I don't like this guy. Oh, jeez, who's that? Oh, wait.
Hey, come here. Lean in close. Get
Who's
close
that?
to me, man. I'm sure Krubus told you I'm here on Zephyr to break ground on the new Delarmo Land Resort. Yeah, I'm that Ranchi Delarmo, CEO, Delarmo Industries. This one's gonna be even better than the one on Glashborg 12. Trust me, man. That guy's busy as shit, always hopping from site to site. He's got like 30 different mines all across Zephyr. You think I can keep track of that? Fuck. I see him when I see him, okay? I wish he'd take some time off, though. Hey, I want to talk to him about Delarmo Land. I'm sure you've been to Delarmo Land before, probably the flagship Glashborg 12 location, but buddy, you would not believe the regulations we had to abide by.
I'm bored of
over
this
there.
guy.
Real motherfucking sticklers. So
How much money does this guy have? And I'm not saying that.
What
'cause
are
of this
these
room.
dead
I'm thinking maybe a heist,
animals
you know,
everywhere?
After we, take down the G3 cartel. I don't know.
Protocols or background checks on all the
Really?
performers.
I don't smell
And you're
anything.
probably
It smells
wondering,
just
why nothing's
fine in
been built
here.
yet? Well, I might have gotten
What are those
sidetracked.
little
Drawing up
gremlins?
blueprints takes a lot out of me, you know?
All right. I don't get what I'm supposed to do.
A little Fergal or two, sue me. But we're making good progress, yeah? Or will be, soon.
Another thing, check out the scale model of the new Delarmo land, cause it's got a lot of detail. It's gonna be the planet's only all-inclusive pansexual drug bazaar. On the beach, you can get your rocks off while getting your surf on.
All right, okay, we got a warp device. You know, that's gonna be helpful. What? Why don't we use it to cross this river so we can go talk to the Moplets and check in with them?
Okay. How do we do that?
Looks like they're working on fixing this portal. You know, hey, maybe we can use it later, you know?
Okay, how do we use the one I have?
Okay, let's use this warp device Ranchi gave us to cross the river, huh?
Hey there, it's me, Pseudo. I'm back. Looks like you're trying to use that new warp device you just got. You want me to help you out? Great work! Wow, wasn't that fun? Okay, see you later. I'm diving right back into Gene's old porn archives. Even AI can jack off.
Shit, nice work! You know, we can use this base as a bridge. Come on, fucking move!
Hey, where you want me to fucking go, huh? You want I should just disappear all this fucking traffic? Hey!
Holy shit, where the fuck are we?
Hey, who gives a shit? I got places to be. Fuck you!
Hey, both of you!
Hot
fuck up!
I'm gonna fucking. You wanna check in with the Moplet leader? Cause, you know, that's kind of what we're supposed to do right now.
You fucking honk me!
I'll kill you!
You fucking honking me!
No, I'm gonna kill you!
Hey, you wanna... Yeah, that's what you sound like! You sound like an idiot!
Fuck you!
Alright, what's up, guy?
How was the man in the mansion?
Ranchi? Yeah, that guy has serious problems, but he gave us this warp device.
By the gods, you've done it!
I agree,
You
Double
got
Forte.
the
It's one of the
warp device.
best
This might actually
parts
work.
You continue to
of
provide us
Justin
with
Roiland's
both,
stuff. It's when they
Grand
leave
Savior.
in
With
them.
this warp device, you
Rick.
can warp Krubis directly
Because
to
they're
you.
obviously
How
just
fortuitous.
pulling it all
You'll need
out of
his
their ass.
coordinates and a blank warp disk to encode them onto. Oh well, no way you're getting those.
That stuff's in the mines. We could just go down there and get it right now.
All right. Take this access code and head down to the mines. Everything you need is there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. You know, you guys figured out that whole plan for us. You know, that really means a lot. You know, it clears things up for us, you know. Anyway, yep, we'll get it done.
Alright, where do we go? Mining site. Okay. Cool.
Alright, let's use the passcode and get in. Nice!
Nice, we got the code. I have a feeling there's gonna be some more people I gotta blast.
Jeez, are the G3 even trying to domesticate the local mites?
Uh-oh, I don't like all these mites. They're gonna get out and they're gonna try to eat and bite me. I see this treasure chest. Oh wow, okay, good. Uh-oh, getting spam. They want me to vote and donate and all that. Uh-oh. What's this all about? What's the deal? Well, how do I... Well, what's the deal? Is there an answer? No. Oh, God. Oh, shit. How... Well, what am I supposed to... Okay. Okay, I gotta figure out how to blast that thing. How do I get... Am I tripping, or can you like shoot something inside of that? You know what I mean? I love that you can't escape the spam political emails. It's true. I swear, like, every day I get an email that's not even addressed to me. It's addressed to, like, someone else, but it's in my email. And it's Nancy Pelosi being like, oh, I don't have enough money. Give me more, I don't have enough money from all the pharmaceutical money that I take.
Holy shit, looks like the G3 ran into
Kickbacks
trouble.
from.
Maybe they'll sort this out themselves. I'll fucking kill every one of you little pieces of shit.
Let's get out of here. Oh, God. Where am I going? I'm gonna just ignore these guys. I don't want to play with them. I don't want to play with these guys anymore.
Fucking little freaks. Is this the entrance to the mines? Jesus, they really fucked this place up. I didn't know it had gotten this bad. These guys just don't let up, do they? Oh shit, Brenton's. Gotta be armor. You know, they're working for the G3, but still better than our friend from earlier.
I'm gonna ravish you with bullets.
Killing these weak fucks doesn't do anything for me.
Kill a person.
Grenade.
All right, gaming. Here we go. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. That was fucked. Oh, God. Oh my God, there's so many of these guys. Okay.
We're destroying my planet. Okay.
Stabbed. Okay, good. Gaming, some real gaming going on here. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay.
Great, these guys heal up the G3.
Enough with your bullet jargon.
Okay. I'm gaming. I am gaming. This game is a lot of blasting and a lot of just watching TV. What's your deal? Hi. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Stop. A lot of blasting in this game. Got him.
Come on, shoot some slime out of my trick hole. What's so gross about that?
I love the trick hole. Trick hole is my favorite part of the game. Alright, where are we going?
Oh, you think you're a real Eucharist, don't you?
me.
Don't hide. I'm on my way. Stay still.
Gaming.
Quit goofing, everybody.
That's like a mercy
All
situation.
right, now let's try that
Okay.
elevator.
Collect crystals from. I don't know what that means. Okay.
Okay, this should take us down into the mines. Going down, huh? Sorry, I almost made a crass joke, but I'm gonna save it. We're better than that. No crass jokes from me.
No
That's a
crass
promise.
jokes, chat.
Not from me, anyways. You might warp in some bases, and Lord only knows. But, you know, from me over here as a gun character, sidekick, no crass jokes. 100% on the level with you, and no bad stuff. Fuck, it stopped?
Oh, chat, I have to wrap this up soon. I realize I gotta get ready for the Brazil screening that we're having in the Discord. I think another like 10 minutes. Yeah, this game is a very like meta. Hey, it's Sean. It's very meta kind of tongue-in-cheek, hee hee ha ha type beat. I'm gonna launch this guy. Watch this. Launched. Oh, please. Okay. Launched.
All right, don't forget, we're looking for a blank warp ticket and some way to find out where Krubis is. Let's get to work.
All right, where's Krubis? Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's just stab him. Stab him in the head.
Fuck, wow.
Rough. He's doing the grunt run. All right, Nat Sleep, thank you for the resub. Oh, look at all these guys. Look at all these. Blast, blast. Blast them. And I'm blasting. Lots of blasting. Really? Okay.
Hello? Would you like to financially support the G3? The G3 gave me this great job, so I'm cool with them now. And that makes me a traitor? The thing I don't get is why I have to pick sides. I want another few pesos in the G3's pocket. Way to go. That money goes right to the G3, you know.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks for coming by. Hey there, I'm the quartermaster around here. Want to buy something?
All right, we gotta find Krubis.
Attention, mining operation 12C. It's me, Krubis. Speed things up! I'm fucking underwater here trying to keep things on schedule. And I figured maybe you forgot that if you piss me off, I will kill you. It's really easy to find more slaves. Look, just do your job and mine more Virgos. Krubis out.
Holy shit. Hey, he's got a Gatlian. We gotta rescue it.
I gotta go rescue that Gatlian. So yeah, chat, if you are unaware, we are going to be screening Brazil, which is one of my favorite movies. I guess I gotta probably just pause and save, right? Where's the next checkpoint? I mean,
Okay, yeah, there's no way we're getting past that laser grid. There's gotta be some way to shut it off somewhere around here.
yeah, chat, I'm hosting a showing of Brazil, which is
Mining Operation 12C.
Shut
This
up.
is Krubis again. One of you weird moblet fucks just delivered me a batch of defective Virgos. You wanna know
Fuck
why I
you,
know
I'm
they're
gonna kill
defective?
you.
Because they're fucking dead. Looks like most of them got crushed in a cave-in. And I punished the moblets responsible, but it looks like they died in the cave-in too. Don't let it happen again.
okay, guy. How do I get through this?
fuckers. It's me, Krubis
Fuck
again.
you, Krubis.
Someone filled out the wrong shipping destination on an entire stack of Form 40 queues. You fucked up my whole day when you did that. Just come forward and tell me whose fault it was. I wish I could promise you I won't.
Oh God. All right. I think that's probably where I gotta call it though, because we are doing the screening soon, and I gotta get it ready. So everybody, thank you for joining for High on Life. This has been another lovely day in the simulation with my Chim Chams and all my chips. Thank you so much for being here. Can we get some wing chips in the chat? It's time to wrap it up. I'm going to be playing more of this on stream. Absolutely. It's pretty funny. I'm definitely down to do it. It's the strange thing about this game is that I feel like I have nothing to add, which is the first time on stream that I've been like silent, because it's just funny and I want you to hear all the writing. It's a lot of tee-hees and ha-has. So it's strange for me on stream because I don't know what I'm supposed to, like, what kind of jokes am I supposed to make? The whole thing is jokes, you know? So, but I am down to play it so y'all can keep watching it if you're enjoying it. And if you like movies, particularly Terry Gilliam's 1985 seminal anti-capitalist classic, Brazil, it is a psychedelic anti-consumerism absurdist satire masterpiece. It is one of my favorite movies. It's got some incredible actors in it. It's got great music. It's very funny. It's very dark, and it's quite disturbing at times, but really, really good. I love it. And I'm going to be hosting that. I'll be welcoming you all at around 4:45. I'll probably do a little bit of an introduction on the Discord. And then we'll start watching the movie. Yeah, thank you so much for being in here. Let's see who we got on. Who's on right now? Let's rate someone. What's Deckard playing? Ragnarok. Could do who do you want to say? Any mods? Any of y'all want to? Anyone online you want to go check out? Let's rate Kenzie. What's Kenzie's? Is it Boom Butterfly Effect, right? All right, let's do it. All right, I'll see you all over there in a moment or two. And enjoy a little outro with Alice Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders. See you all in a bit.